Of course, the question that screams to be asked is, can something that complex just happen?
Right. That's the major concern that people who are concerned about the intelligent design issue have. They conclude, no, it could not have occurred through evolution.
It's one thing to come up with a theory, something else to defend it after you've based everything on it. But I don't think if we'd have seen how complex it is, anyone would even have presupposed that it could have happened by chance.
Yeah, and it's not just complexity alone. We're talking about design complexity.
That's right.
Or complexity that is not just a lot of stuff together, but stuff that is obviously there for a purpose.
It's not just building it, it's engineering it.
Right.
Yes.
And here's a good example. This is Keynesian, this little guy here, and it literally has legs here, and this is the leg, and it has feet here which walk on this microtubule, and they carry supplies, materials, building supplies, and so on, from one part of the cell to another part of the cell.
This is within the cell.
Within the cell. And these little guys walk around carrying their loads to where the loads has to go. Because you remember that parts have to be assembled in one place and manufactured in one place, and also assembled to produce the final product, often in another place, like the bacterioflagellum.
And you have to produce a product because these cells die.
Right. If there's continually replacement of all the parts of a cell, this goes on 24 hours a day.
So it isn't just that a cell dies, but parts of it have to constantly be replaced.
Right.
There's a maintenance crew in there.
A maintenance crew which continually replaces parts that don't seem to need replacement.
All right.
But it's more or less on a time schedule. After so much time, these parts are replaced.
All right.
Okay, the court ruled, and this is a case in Pennsylvania, the Katzmiller case, Dover Area School District, and the judge ruled, quote, and I'll quote him, the argument of irreducible complexity central to ID, intelligent design, has been refuted in peer-reviewed research papers and has been rejected by the scientific community at large. All right. That's what he ruled. He said there are no peer-reviewed articles supporting Professor Behe, Michael Behe, Lehigh University's argument that certain complex molecular structures are irreducibly complex. But if you think about the material I presented, this is absolutely ludicrous.
Yes.
Because the fact is, everything, especially in chemistry, it's a major concept in chemistry, you have to help students understand the difference between carbon-12, carbon-14, between a carbon atom, between a carbon ion, and carbon and boron are different. How are they different? And irreducible complexity, I should mention, by the way, has been around since Aristotle. They recognize that for certain things to function, you must have a certain minimum number of parts. What is that? Is it a 1? Well, it looks like a 1. Now what does it look like?
A plus.
Looks like a plus. Now what is it?
A 4.
Looks like a 4. My intention when I drew this was a 4, but I didn't give you enough information in order to show you that, indeed, this is a 4.
You have to have all the parts.
So you have to have all the parts. So
that's right.
Intuitively, clearly, things are irreducibly complex. It's an idea that's been around for a long time. It was central to chemistry, development of chemistry, and so on. And this now has gotten in the media from the net. There's a quote from Amazon, a review of a book. Behe, quote, started out with his conclusion and then set out to reinforce it. Okay, well, that may be true. This explains why you get unsupported assertions such as irreducible complexity. And when I plug this in, by the way, irreducible complexity is false. I got 293,000 hits. So there are 293,000 hits which claim that irreducible complexity is false, and of course that's ludicrous.
Dr. Behe is onto something, isn't he?
Oh, I think he is. He's pointed out something which Darwinists find very embarrassing, and therefore they try to discredit him by name-calling, but I think they must recognize that this concept is valid, it's scientific, it's supportable, and calling him names seems to be the main way they try to refute the argument.
How long can we do that before the truth's exposed?
Court decisions like Judge Jones, I think that's going to set back science for a while, because people will say, well, nothing's irreducibly complex without really thinking about it.